Hi, welcome to my April newsletter. I'm going to try something a little different here and do this video summary. That'll be a little more casual explanation of the items in the newsletter. If you want the true text, then you just read it. But thought I'd tell you, give you the verbal explanation. So, monitor the mortgage payment history. It's very common. One party's going to keep the current mortgage. They want to keep that low rate and payment. They will buy or refinance or whatever in the future. The outbound spouse wants to go buy a place. We can still exclude that payment. Like, we're still okay there. But the point I bring up is the client, the vacating spouse, should still be able to retain the login information and the password to kind of keep an eye on that payment history. I had a client that her words to me were, hey, he didn't pay the March payment until April 3rd. It drifted into, it was 30 days late. I wish she had checked on it March 20th or 25th. I wish he had brought it up to her March 25th and say, hey, I'm struggling here. Can you pay this month? Because she has the money. They could have worked out a deal where she could have paid it for March and been reimbursed later. And it would have protected both of their credit. Now they've got a 30-day late. It's going to make things go down. Their interest rates on their credit cards, their car insurance, all these things are impacted by your credit score. So my advice, my recommendation is the vacating spouse should retain login and password information. Now, don't be crazy and be looking at it on the 2nd and the 3rd. But if it's not paid by like the 20th or 25th of the month, step in and pay it and then be reimbursed later. So work in some language like that. Buying a home this is like retirement age, gray area divorce, where you can use IRA distribution as an income path to qualify for a loan. So it's fast, it's easy, it's a little easier than, someone has a couple part-time jobs, and it's faster than alimony that normally takes, you have to receive it for 6 months. If someone's got a couple $100,000 in an IRA, they can likely qualify for a mortgage much faster. There's some details in the context, but an example is a client that got divorced April 1st. The assets transferred to her, the IRAs did, in April. She's taking a distribution this week. We're gonna send the loan back into underwriting next week, and she closes May 16th. So it's a pretty condensed period to be able to go buy a home using an IRA distribution to qualify for a home loan. It takes out some of the other job requirements. Doesn't have to file for Social Security. You don't have to meet all the alimony requirements. So it's a fast and easy way to qualify. Let me know if you have clients that are in that position and want to buy a home. We can strategize on that. Affordable lending changes. Like everything else in the country, there's been some changes to budgets and programs getting slashed. We had some programs that were, I would say, very much targeted through the Equal Credit Opportunity Act that gave some benefits to areas that were more than 50% minority census tracts. And they worked great, but those programs are getting cut. Thankfully, we still have the two most common and most popular that are open to all areas, not just certain minority census tract areas. So they're open to all areas that we lend. And the main driver for qualifying is what is their income in relation to the area median income. They call it AMI. And the two buckets are less than 50% or 50 to 80%. And if you qualify for a loan and you're less than 50% of the area median income, you get a $2,500 grant. That program is available with a lot of lenders, but because there's a first-time homebuyer requirement, a lot of loan officers don't understand that, or they misunderstand it because it reads a little wonky. But if the ex-spouse kept the house in the divorce, the vacating spouse can go buy another home and be classified as a first-time home buyer. If they sold the home, doesn't work. But if the ex kept it, you can still be considered a first-time home buyer, and a lot of loan officers don't understand that. So the client misses out on that $2,500 grant, or they have higher mortgage insurance, or their interest rate's a little higher because they're kind of discarding programs that they don't think the client will qualify for, but they do. The 50 to 80 bucket is a $1,250 grant, so it's a little bit less, but that one, you do not have to be a first-time home buyer, but for good or bad, there's very few lenders that do it. Bell is one of, I think, 2. in the state of Minnesota that has access to that program. So if you're looking for clients to refer, I contend that is the sweet spot for working with me in terms of getting the best bang for your buck. The client gets the trifecta of my knowledge regarding the divorce guidelines, the timelines, qualifying for which programs. They get Bell's reputation, because Bell is the #1 purchase lender in Minnesota. It's got a great reputation in the real estate agent and title company community, where if you're competing against Rinky Dink Mortgage, that could be a good loan officer, but they don't have the reputation that Bell does. I contend in that environment, then Bell wins that deal. So it can literally make or break someone's ability to get their offer accepted particularly in a competitive price point that most of these people are going to be buying in. So the financial incentives from the grant, my expertise with divorce, and Bell's reputation kind of gives the client a trifecta who are getting divorced, their ex kept the home, and they want to go buy something. Those are perfect referrals, and I can really bring real value to those clients. So please think of me in those situations and let me know if you have questions. Interest rates, they've been volatile. Tariffs, or the announcement of tariffs, brought rates way down in early April. Then people were like, "Ooh, this could actually be serious." So they jacked them. The markets reacted and went way up. They've kind of settled down based on some of the delays, and some of the other side deals are kind of working out. So they're kind of between those points. It's going to be a volatile year. My two pieces of advice is clients should, #1, work with a loan officer that uses tools that kind of advise when to lock and when to float. I have two that I pay for, and one that's free with Bell. So I use kind of 3 systems to guide clients when's the right time to lock or to keep floating based on their timeline, based on when they're closing, some things like that. That's for more purchase clients. Refinance clients that are trying to find a specific rate, they should be ready. Like, they should have their application in, their disclosures signed, their documents in, the title done, have everything lined up and ready to go, and just be ready to pull the trigger when the rate hits that certain rate that they want. So it's going to be a volatile year. It'll move fast. I personally don't think that they're going to crash. I also don't think they're going to go up, but who knows? If you look statistically, like over the last year or two, they've kind of hovered in this, 6.5 to 7 territory for quite a while. My projection would be a little bit higher or lower of that, but probably still going to be in that range for some time. Personal news. Kind of also a reason why I wanted to do this as a video. April had some good things. I had a birthday. Got to spend time with my parents who were in town for a weekend. Got up north, did a trail run, saw some friends, played pickleball, watched my kids play soccer, so some good things. Obviously some sad things with Jack DeWalt's passing in March. The services were in April. And I don't know what to say that already hasn't been said, other than when I think of Jack, I think of a guy that I admired because he was calm, collected, confident. He wasn't showy, he wasn't flashy, he wasn't loud. I've always admired that about him. And I don't know where I'm going with this, other than I still think about him. It's a sad situation. I still think about him every night, and his family and law partners. I wasn't able to attend the services, but I watched it online. That itself is a cool thing now that came along probably since COVID, is just to be able to watch these services and watch people honor their friends. Melissa, good job. Anyway, where I'm going with that is Jack was a heck of a guy. I will try to emulate some of those qualities about him in the future, because he was just calm and collected and not flashy. And I think we could do a little bit better of that and be a little more like Jack. So just wanted to mention that. Other news, soccer season is here. So if you need me, I'll be at the soccer field for both my boys. And my oldest turned 16 this weekend, which is crazy. It does go by fast. We did the car shopping thing last weekend, and I got my car insurance bill coming up. So please keep the referrals coming in, because my car insurance is going to be pretty high for a little while. So anyway, I hope the nice spring weather is here, and that you get to enjoy it. Hope you had a good April, and we'll talk to you in May. Thanks.